right, Pat, as fantasy players get ready for Week 7 of Major League Baseball and fantasy, we got a couple of pitchers making some news, some good, some bad, a couple of prominent names giving people some trouble if they've had them. Let's talk a little bit about...
They're going to say, all these guys are probably on my team. My pitching's giving me nothing but trouble.
You got a lot of big names?
I do have a lot of big names.
Do you have David Price?
I do have David Price.
This is not good.
No. Actually, you know what? He hasn't been as bad as the numbers would suggest.
The numbers suggest bad.
Yeah, but he hasn't been terrible. It's the win total that's killing him right now. If he, let's say he was 3-3 instead of 1-3.
Well, the 4.78 and the 1.38 whip, they don't kill him too?
Obviously not great, but those aren't disastrous ERAs and whip. And he's not a bottom-end pitcher right now. He's still somewhat serviceable because his strikeout rate's up. But I mean, all these numbers are going to go up over time. I mean, we saw the best of David Price last year, and he got overdrafted. I mean, he was a keeper league that I ended up keeping him in.
He was a Cy Young Award winner.
He was, but he wasn't the best fantasy pitcher. He was the best real-life pitcher in terms of voters.
But, you know, a 1.38 whip, that's last place of material in your league.
I agree, but I doubt it's going to stay around 1.36 for the rest of the season. He's still David Price. He's going to get it together. There's nothing off about it.
48 strikeouts, 52 innings. It's almost strikeout per inning. That's not that bad.
Yeah, it's around 7.6. So.
But it's been more than just one bad game. It's not like he got pelted once.
Yeah, but he's not really getting pounded. He got destroyed in his first start, but since then it's a lot of 7 innings, 3 runs, 8 innings, 4 runs, those sort of things. So I'm not concerned about David Price. He's a nice buy low.
You got him. You got no choice. You got.
Hey, I'll sell him to you if you want him. I mean, all right. I would be actively trying to shop for him if I was in a league, if an owner was willing to give up on him right now.
So, do you like Price better than R.A. Dickey, who's having a rough time north of the border?
Like I talked about with Josh Hamilton in our hitter segment, R.A. Dickey was on my do not draft list of pitchers. He was going overvalued, switching leagues with an inconsistent pitch, coming off a career year. Why would you want that guy? Knuckleballs.
What do you mean about inconsistent pitch? He put actually a few good years together in a row. Nothing like last year.
Exactly.
But actually, his 2 years before that were actually pretty decent years.
Yeah, they were decent years.
So he was pretty consistent.
Not really. He was a Cy Young winner last year. He had one of the best fantasy seasons of anyone last season, and that just wasn't...
Well, did you expect him to do this poor?
I thought he would do pretty poorly switching leagues, yeah, and moving inside is not good for a knuckleballer at all.
Is it that, or is it Canadian? Yeah, the roof moves. Why don't they open the roof?
Yeah, but it's not the same. The wind doesn't generate the same way. It's not the same pitching indoors.
But if you open the roof, then it's an open stadium.
It's not really open. Have you been to Rogers Center? It opens right at the very top. It's still a huge bowl.
Yeah. Well, you can't just pitch him on the road.
No, you can't. I mean, look, the pitch...
Has he pitched any better on the road?
No, not really. But again, he's pitching inside at Tampa and stuff like that. Right. But either way, the pitch itself is not reliable. He's not a reliable fantasy option. If he can get it together and he starts pitching like last year, then yeah. If you can find that knuckleball again, then I'm back in. But even if he was as good as he was 2 years ago, he wasn't worth where he was going in drafts.
You don't think the fact that the pitch is not reliable is kind of what makes it hard to hit?
Yeah, but it also makes him...
That's the point of it.
I guess so. I don't want that guy on my fantasy team.
No matter what.
No.
All right, so he's not a buy low.
No, he's a stay away from me.
A stay away, as is just about everybody in Toronto at the moment. All right, let's move over to the left coast and talk a little bit about Matt Cain. Pitched a little better his last time, a lot better actually. Is he going to get his act together? He's worse than David Price here. 5.5 ERA, although his whip's a little better, 1.26. Only 36 strikeouts in 42 innings, which is a little surprising for me.
That's not bad at all.
But he hasn't walked that many people.
So 36 and 42 innings is pretty solid.
Yeah, I thought he would be a little higher than that, but he's around the plate. It's not like he's walking people.
That's been his problem, though. He's too much around the plate, giving up all those home runs. He's going to be fine. Again, like David Price, probably an even better buy low at this point because I like Cain's upside more than I like Price's upside. Pitching in the National League, being in that division, and like you said, he doesn't walk anyone. Even when Price is at his best, he still walks a lot of guys. So Cain's whip should be better than Price's whip by the end of the season. He should probably fan more batters as well. His his home run to fly ball rate is just out of control. There's no way. He and Dan Herron are the two guys who suffered from this over the first 6 starts or so.
Yeah, but what does that mean? The pitcher has something to do with that. He has control over that.
Yes, I understand that. But if they continue to keep that rate up, they're not going to be in the major leagues anymore. So I would suggest it goes back more towards their career rate than it does this weird aberration over the first month. They get it together, they find their location, and they turn back into the pitchers they used to be.
But Dickey can't turn back to the guy he was.
No.
Okay.
There's no location of his pitch. He just sort of chucks it in there, and it's whether it knuckles or not.
Well, he can work on that. He can practice it. All right. Stephen Strasburg. He's not winning any games here. He's frustrating a lot of people, but he's not really pitching all that bad. Now,
first innings. If you took out his first inning at every start, I think he'd have a 0 ERA.
Well, can't he just pitch longer in the bullpen, or somebody get up to bat a couple of times?
Or just bring him in the second.
I don't know. 3.4, 1.15 WHIP. He's 1 in 4. He's striking out a guy per inning, which actually people were expecting more than that. But what is this with his? You know, he was doing this thing where he was simulating throwing the ball with no ball, so they got rid of that because he was creating forearm problems.
It's a good thing they got rid of it.
Yeah, so now they're going to put a ball in his hand. He's going to throw that, and so we won't have any more forearm problems. But is just an anomaly? He's only got 1 win?
Yeah, it is. He's actually pitched well in basically every single start. And he lost that tough game to Harvey where he gave up the 2 runs.
Right.
Look, I had him ranked as my #1 pitcher coming into the season. #1 overall. Now, it looks like I was wrong on that. Verlander is probably a bit better. It looks like Cliff Lee's going to be a bit better. It looks like Felix Hernandez is going to be a bit better. Clayton Kershaw. And I guess Matt Harvey at this point. I still would rather have Strasburg than Matt Harvey. I still think Strasburg's a top 5 pitcher, and if someone is willing to value him less than that, make that trade immediately.
You don't like Matt Harvey?
I do.
You're like dissing Matt Harvey.
I'm not dissing Matt Harvey. It's just he's not going to keep this up for the entire season.
How do you know?
It's just not going to happen. I'm willing to bet it's not going to happen.
He's done it for half a season. It's now 17 starts or 18 starts.
Okay. Wait till he gets through a full season. Let's see what happens here. Now that it's his first.
Well, Strasburg hasn't done it for a full season.
He did it for most of last year before he got pulled, and he was a top 5 fantasy starter.
He didn't go the whole way.
Yeah, that wasn't his fault, though. The Mets are going to continue to run Harvey out there.
If you're a fantasy owner, you don't care whose fault it is. You just want the stats. You're not looking for blame.
Yeah, but you're talking about 17 starts over the course of 2 seasons. Strasburg made his starts.
That's the only opportunity he had.
Yeah, well, Strasburg had his starts. We knew he was getting shut down.
18 starts, and he actually has better stats over his.
Do you really think? Would you rather have Matt Harvey than Stephen Strasburg? Is what you're telling me?
And I don't think Strasburg's going to have a healthy career at all.
Okay.
No, I do.
You've lost it.
What?
You've lost your mind.
Why is that?
Go ahead with Harvey. You're gonna lose to me because I have Stephen Strasburg.
No, but why?
I just believe that his upside is just far more valuable.
Based on what? That he was the #1 pick?
Based on the #1 pick, based on the sample that I've seen of him over the time, and I think he's going to be a better strikeout pitcher.
His first 18 starts aren't better than Harvey's first 18 starts in his career.
They're very, very similar.
No.
Yeah.
Take a look at them. They're not. Harvey's whip was well under 1.
It's well under 1 this year. It wasn't necessarily under 1 last year.
It was just barely over. If you take this whole sample size,
back when Harvey was walking over 3 batters per 9 innings, which Strasburg has never done. Look, I'll take Strasburg. You take Harvey. We'll see how it turns out. It's going to be me. I'm going to win this one.
Not this year.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have to revisit. All right. Let's move on to the closer, Craig Kimbrel, who has given up 3 home runs on the year and 3 blown saves, which both total what he had all of last year. His pitching metrics otherwise seem fine. He's 21 strikeouts, 14 innings. That's him. He's got 11 saves. Any cause for concern there? Everybody gets dinged at some point. He's just 3 in a row. He's just unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, he's not pitching well right now, but he's still Craig Kimbrel. He's going to have his job.
Got saved last night.
Unless he's hurt, there's no danger of him losing his job. He's the best closer in the majors, so yeah, he's fine. He's going to be fine.
No concern at all.
No.
You just keep running it out.
Unless he's hurt, yes.
Well, at what point, how many does he have to blow before you're concerned?
I don't know, 10?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't care. Keep running him out there. At least he's still a good source of strikeouts.